Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My channel is bright today. I am trying out a new light, my ring light that I've been using before. Some of you have noticed a noise coming from it. It just depends on your ears whether you can hear it or not. I can hear it, but so anyway, I got out my flat fill light to try, and it is super bright. It does have a remote or a switch where I can make it lighter or darker or whatever, but as soon as I do that, that same kind of noise starts. So I'm going to try to do this one in the brightness. I may be blind by the time this is done, and hopefully it won't be too terrible for those of you watching. It does have different settings, but they always seem to, maybe that's a little better. I was going to say they always seem to kind of readjust as I move around, which I guess that's how that's designed to do, but I guess we'll try this one. This one isn't quite as bright. So anyway, after all that, welcome to my channel. So today I've got, or for this video, I've just got some random unboxings. I've been getting some stuff in the mail and I haven't unboxed it yet, so I thought I'd just unbox it with you guys. I am wearing a Temu shirt that I hauled a long time ago. It is, the arms are super long and it doesn't look good if I roll them up, so I'm just kind of pulling them up. And then a Temu necklace, these Temu earrings, which maybe don't quite go, but there are kind of like polka dots in this, sort of. They're not really, but then, and then a red ring. So that's what I'm wearing. I do, before I start unboxing these things, I did want to give you some Temu return updates. So this is a roller that you stick in the fridge or the freezer, and it freezes up, and then you use it to roll on your face. I returned this because it leaks. So it had been in my refrigerator that I also returned, and as soon as it starts to get cold, and I'm not talking condensation, I mean it actually leaks from somewhere in here. So I returned that. I end up liking those other rollers anyway that are the solid, it's not marble, but I guess some of them might be marble. I like those better. And then I returned this thermal eraser. Now I feel like maybe I just got a bad one, because if you saw the haul where I got this, it was leaking, and so there was stuff all over the place. So I don't even know if I mean, you can still, there's still plenty of stuff in here, but I don't know, I couldn't get it to come out very well. And I did try priming the pump, and that maybe helped a little bit, but you can see it's collecting the ink off of the labels. And whenever I use them on the label, I know a lot of people have no problem with this. That's why I think it's just mine. But some of the stuff starts to come back. Now this one's a little bit better than other ones, but yeah, and I know there's different kinds of labels, and this is specifically for thermal labels, so it's not going to work very well on paper labels, and I understand all that. But I've had several thermal labels where it it erased it, but then it came back, and it was weird. So I returned that, but I probably will order another one just because I like the idea of it. Oh, see, it's getting, that's going to drive me nuts, guys. I'm probably going to have to turn the other one back on for future episodes. All right, so then this was an eyeshadow palette that I returned because one of the, let's not make a mess, but one of the, this one was kind of shattered and all crumbly. Now I may dig that part out, so because the other ones still seem to be in good shape, but I don't want white powder because I'm almost always wearing black pants. I don't want white powder getting everywhere. So I did return that. And none of these returns did they ask me. They didn't ask me to send any of these back. And then I had several rings that I returned. Let me take this off. So I returned this ring. I just didn't like it. There was nothing wrong with this one. I don't know. It's kind of big, but yet the stone is pretty small. So I don't know. I just didn't care for that very much. And then there's another one. It's just a little too weird for me. All these stones are different colors, but the style, it just always slid, and then, you know, you can't enjoy it very well. So I returned that. This one I returned because the stone is super cloudy, and I just didn't like. I mean, aside from that, it might be okay, except for the fact that, and you're not gonna be able to see it, but the back has this metal behind it which shows through, and it kind of clouds the stone on the top and the bottom even more. So I returned that. And then this one I went back and forth on this one because it's pretty, but it's so thick. And that's what I didn't like about it. Like, if it had been flat, I would have not returned it, because it's pretty otherwise, but I just, it's because of the thickness is the whole amount, or is the whole part of it, it's just too much. So those were my returns. I've got more returns to do, which maybe I'll get to today. I was telling you guys on another video that I got to the point where I was returning a couple things and it wanted me to send them back, even though they were like $1, $2 items kind of thing. So then I thought maybe I had done too many returns in one day. So I didn't do any returns yesterday, and so I'll probably do some later today. And I'm sorry, this is driving me nuts. I'm gonna, hang on. That light would probably be just fine if it wasn't so close, but I have very little, like, because there's a wall here, that gives me very little space to stretch out. I'm just gonna plug in my old light. Okay. Although even that seems brighter than normal. Sorry, I know you're not here to watch me with my lighting struggles. Okay, so as soon as I turned it down, it starts making a noise. And then I turn it all the way full blast, no noise. So, okay, well, I'm gonna be frustrated with that. All right, let's dig in. And hopefully I used my other address eraser on some of these, so hopefully they're still not dry. That's the thing I don't like about these, is that it doesn't dry very quickly, and then you get it all over your clothes, and if you try to wipe it off, then it defeats the purpose. So anyway, for some reason I have 2 Dollar Tea Club packages. So let's open these. So if you've never heard of Dollar Tea Club, I think it's just dollarteaclub.com, but I'll figure that out and make sure it's in the link in the description below. But this one I get because it's super cheap. It used to be like $3 a month, but it is more expensive now. I want to say maybe $6.99. think $6.99. But they have different plans, different packages. And see, it's got ink back here. So set that over there. Okay, so anyway, they send 3 different teas in each package. And each of these is supposed to be for, it's loose leaf tea. And you should be able to get at least 4 cups of tea out of each of these. So, and you don't get to pick with this one, you don't get to pick what they send. And I think they send all of their subscribers the same ones each month. So, oh, and there is a website on here, so I'll make sure to include this on there. But, so this one is pink lemonade, and I'll just read you what it's got in it. It's got apple, hibiscus, cornflower petals, rose hip, raspberry pieces, lemon peel, strawberry leaves, chamomile, and natural flavors. And it is organic compliant, but it may contain traces of almonds and nuts. So if you're allergic, this probably isn't, I think they all say that. So because some of their teas have that in there, they can't guarantee that you're not going to get some. So this is a fruit type tea, and you heat your water up to boiling. So if you have a regular pot that you heat up your water in, you probably, you know when it's boiling, but it might be difficult for you to do some of the temperatures that they say on some of these. But this is one that you go all the way to boiling, and you would steep it for 3 to 5 minutes. So because this is a loose leaf tea, you either need to have your own tea bags, or if you have a diffuser that you, like I got one on Temu that you can, you put the tea in it and then you hold it down in the water. I also have some from David's Tea that are actual like cups that you sit into the water, but there's a little little thing on the side that sticks over so you can just, raise it up and down. And the David's Tea mugs that I have had lids, but even if you didn't have a lid, you could use the bottom of a plate to stick it on, because it's really important that while you're doing your steeping process, it's not open to the air. It needs to kind of recycle all of that. So this one you steep for 3 to 5 minutes, and oh, somebody's home. Sorry. I may have to pause here in a minute. Actually, I am going to pause. I wasn't expecting anybody to be home, so we want to make sure I'm safe, right? So hang on. Okay, don't worry, I'm safe. It was just my husband. It's lunchtime for me, so I'm trying to get this done on lunch break. So all the kids are at school, and he was at a doctor's appointment, but apparently that appointment didn't last very long. So yeah, so I'm safe. So while I was upstairs, I grabbed my steeper that I had gotten off of Temu. So anytime you're dealing with the loose leaf tea, you can use a product like this. You would, in this case, stick your tea in here, cover it up, and then you'd put this whole thing in your hot water, your mug. So this would make it harder to totally cover the top of the mug, right? Because this would be sticking out unless it's a super tall mug. So you might have to piece something around it, or just put it over part of it. Even that would be better than having it totally open. And then with this one, after you're done, you squeeze so you can get that extra bit of tea flavor out of the leaves. Or I like to do, I have a mug that has a lid. This isn't the right lid for this mug, but I've also got baskets like this. So you can stick the tea in here, and then your hot water, you lay it in here, You put your lid on and then you steep it for however long, and then when you're done, you turn this upside down. Then you pull this out, let it drain. You could use a spoon to push down on the leaves, and then you set it on that, and then you have your tea. So, not that you guys don't know how to make tea. I don't want to act like that, but if you're someone who always just drinks tea that you buy at the grocery store, this is a little bit different. So anyway, so we had the pink lemonade. Let's get this back out of the way. Still not dry, and now I'm getting it on my packaging. So now we've got banana bread. This is a black tea, so it's got some caffeine. So black tea, banana pieces, sunflower and calendula petals, natural flavors, and again, it's organic compliant. This one has, you heat your water to boiling, just like the other one, but this one you only steep for 2 to 3 minutes. And then the last one in this one is emerald mint. And this is a green tea, so some caffeine still, but not as much. Green tea, peppermint, and lemongrass. So this would be really good anytime you have a stomach ache, I think, because peppermint tea is really good for stomach issues. So because this is a green tea, you only heat your water to 176 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius. So I have a variable water pot thing, kettle, I guess, and I can program in on it what temperature I want it to go to, and then it heats it up to that temperature and beeps, and then I know if it's ready. And you can get one of those for $30 to $40 maybe. I'll put a link into the one that I got, but they have cheaper versions, and I don't even remember at this point what mine cost, but they have lots of different kinds. And some people go old school and they stick a thermometer in the water as it's heating up, and it, I guess depending on what kind of thermometer you have, it might beep if you've got it, you know, a programmable one. So that's another option that would be super cheap if you already have a pot and a thermometer. So anyway, so those are the 3 teas that came in this bag. And then let's go ahead and just open up the other one of these while we're at it. But I like these because you don't get a huge amount of it. So if you don't happen to like that particular one, you're not stuck with it for a long time. But if you do find one you like, you can go to their website and order larger sizes. All right, so in this one, we've got walnut truffle. This is a green tea with almonds, chocolate chips, walnuts, safflowers, rose petals, natural and artificial flavors. This one does not say organic compliant. This one, because it's a green tea, you heat it to 176 Fahrenheit or 80 Celsius, and you steep it for 2 to 4 minutes. I like nut teas, and I feel bad for the people that can't have nuts. All right, so then we've got a fruit tea. So you can kind of see they don't give you, or at least I've never seen them give you like all black teas in a package. I mean, it's always a variety. So that one was green. This one is another fruit one. And this one's ruby red apple, apple, rosehip, cranberry, elderberry pieces, hibiscus petals, natural flavors. And this one is organic compliant. And just like with the other one, all of these are made in a facility with nuts. You heat this one up to boiling and you steep for 3 to 5 minutes. And you can see it's not a resealable package, so once you open this, you'll either need to put this in a bag or take it out and put it in a bag. Snack bags work good for that. All right, and then this last one is caramel corn. That sounds good. Okay, so there is a kind of tea that Gen Matcha, and it was one of the first ones that I ever got from the Dollar Club, and I'd never had it before, and I fell in love with it. And it has like puffed rice and stuff in it, so don't knock it if it sounds weird. It may not be. You might really like it. So this is a black tea, and it's got popped rice, apple pieces, white chamomile, safflower petals, and natural flavors, and it is organic compliant. And you heat it to boiling and you steep it for 2 to 3 minutes. And the idea is if you steep it for longer than they recommend, then it could start to get bitter. So just keep that in mind. Or if you feel like it's too bitter with the steeping length that they have, then shorten it up a bit. All right, let's go ahead and do the last tea one while we're at it. And I'm getting stuff all over my hands already. Yeah, I just don't like this one either. I mean, I like that it covers things up, but why does it take so long to dry? I mean, if you're just putting it on paper, it should be dry, in my opinion, within 30 seconds. Okay, get my knife. Now, SIPSBY is totally different kind of a subscription box. If you've never heard of it, I will also put a link to this in the description box. But what you do with this one is when you sign up or when you go on their website, first of all, if you put in your email, they'll give you a code to get money off of your first box. But you take a survey or a questionnaire, you fill it out, and it's trying to determine your tea personality. And so the more you have the opportunity to review these teas too after they send them to you. So as you go along in this subscription plan, they get to know you better and better and send you teas that you will like more and more over time. But anyway, when you're filling out the questionnaire at the beginning, they're asking you if you like teas with caffeine or if you prefer no caffeine. Can you have nuts? Do you have any allergy restrictions? Are there certain types of tea you don't like? Do you not like green tea or smoky tea or spicy tea? Those kind of questions. Do you prefer all loose leaf teas or all bagged teas or somewhere in the middle? I put in the middle for that so that I would get some of both. But again, when you review these after you've tried them, then you'll start noticing that your box is even more tailored to you. So that's a really good, I think this company is the only one that does that. So let's get into it. Made just for you. So unlike the other one that sends the exact same teas to everybody, this one, it's definitely unique to you. So when you open it, it's got a card on top and then all of your teas. But the card, tea matches for Amy, and then it lists all 4 of the teas that they put in here. And then on this side, they just give you generic tea information. So this would be a great thing to stick on your fridge or by your tea coffee making station so you can see how hot and how long you should steep each of those kinds of tea for. And herbal, this one really you could steep forever and it won't hurt anything because there's no actual tea in it. So anyway, it says rate and shop your matches. So if you find things that you like in here, you can go to their website and order bigger sizes. And you can, when you rate things, I think you get points. And then you can exchange those points for rewards, I guess. And then they have virtual tea events. So if you're a big tea person, you could sign up to go to those. So yeah, so let's get into these teas. So if you get a box and it has loose leaf tea in it, they will always give you a bag of bags. So this bag that they put the bags in can be used. You can take the sticker off and it becomes a reusable tea bag. But they also give you disposable tea bags that you would just stick your tea in and then cinch it up. So that's really nice. And then, so I always save these and just keep reusing those, and they can go in the washing machine, that kind of thing. All right, and then, it looks like, because this is my first box, you get a little present, and it's usually some kind of a tool like this to help you steep. Oh, so it's a gold star, and see how easy this is to open. So I have to push on this, I think. This is kind of hard to do. Okay, yeah, I push. So then you can put your tea in here, snap it back together, and then dangle this in your tea. And it's got I like this one because it's got a hook on the back of it, so you can like wrap this around your mug. So that it doesn't fall in. So that's great. So just keep that in mind for your very first box. They will add some kind of something. I don't think it's always the same, so I don't want to say you would get that one. All right. Ooh, there's David's Tea. So David's Tea is my favorite brand of tea. They used to have stores here in America, but then during that global healthcare crisis, they had to close all of their United States stores, and I think they're exclusive out of Canada now. And I will say Canada has awesome tea companies up there. So I appreciate boxes like SIPSBY that get products from them to put in the boxes, because it's not as easy to get here. But David's Tea does have a website that I've ordered from a lot. So anyway, this is strawberry rhubarb parfait. And actually, I used to do this subscription box a couple years ago, and well, actually it's been longer than that. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago. And that's how I first learned about David's Tea and fell in love with it, to the point where I was buying, well, you guys know I go crazy when I come up with some new thing. So I was buying gobs and gobs of David's Tea. So that being said, strawberry rhubarb parfait, this sachet will work in 16 ounces of water, not your typical 8. You would heat the water up to 200 degrees. You would steep it for 5+ minutes, and that's because it's a herbal tea. So it's caffeine free, and it's got apple, hibiscus, raisins, carrot, artificial strawberry and rhubarb flavoring, beetroot, yogurt bits, strawberry, and rhubarb. And it's a caffeine-free tea. This sweet and tart caffeine-free infusion blends bright and juicy fresh picked berries with tart rhubarb. It steeps up a satisfying deep red and is equally amazing hot or iced. So that's nice. So there's that one, and they give you 4. So really that's like 8 cups of tea, since each one of these will do 16 ounces, and a lot of times you can reuse the bag. So there is this is a loose leaf tea, but it is in a bag inside the outer bag. Not that you can see that very well. All right, next, Ticino. So this one would be really good too, probably for stomach kind of issues, because dandelion is good for that, and so is mint, like we said before. So this is dandelion mocha mint, and there's one bag in here. Yeah, it says 1 tea bag there at the bottom. So there's one bag, and it's for 8 ounces. And you would heat your water to boiling and then steep for 3 to 5 minutes. This one is also caffeine free. It's a roasted cocoa powder and peppermint leaves mix with dark coffee notes of chicory and dandelion roots, for a divine blend that helps with digestion, gut health, and inflammation. And it's got carob, chicory, dandelion root, dates, almonds, natural mocha flavor, cocoa powder, peppermint leaf, figs, and peppermint oil. So I'm excited to try that. And it's always good to have some tea on hand for health issues because they can be really good for that. So, and again, they gave four bags of that. All right, next is a loose leaf tea. Okay, this is the orange pineapple sencha green tea. And this has medium caffeine. Energizing and uplifting, this earthy sencha green tea is brightened with orange peel, pineapple, and hints of coconut. A true treat that is enjoyed hot or over ice. And it says you would take 1.5 tablespoons per 8 ounces of water. You would heat your water to 175 and steep for 5 to 8 minutes. And it includes sencha green tea, orange peel, pineapple, and coconut. And look at how pretty that package is. I love that. And then it does have the instructions on the back too. So that one will be nice. And so like coconut, you know, when you're doing your survey, coconut's one of the things they ask about. Fruit. Do you like berries? Do you like citrus? That kind of thing. All right, and then the last one is the Davidson's tea. Those are always pretty good too. And cinnamon and apple. This one is high caffeine. This full-bodied black tea brew with nuances of freshly baked apple pie combines organic cinnamon spice with the essence of harvested apples and an organic black tea base. And you would use 1 teaspoon of this one in 8 ounces of water. You heat your water to boiling and steep for 3 to 5 minutes. And it includes organic black tea, organic cinnamon, organic dried apples, natural flavor, and organic safflower. So that sounds really good. I really like cinnamon apple teas. Cinnamon especially. Harney and Sons is also one of my favorites, and they have that like hot sunset or something like that, and it's really good, and you can get it at Target. So yeah, so that is what I got in this box, and these come once a month, and it's a good idea if you're going to get a subscription box like this that you try at least one of each of the teas as quickly as possible so that you can go onto the website and review it so that you can influence your next box before it comes. And I don't know, I had thought about doing a video just on tea tasting, but I don't know, is that something you guys would want to see me do, to heat, you know, to cook all of these according to their instructions and then do a taste test on it? Let me know. Maybe you just prefer to see the unboxing and that's good enough. All right, so that's all the tea. Ugh. There went my tea lid. All right, I'm gonna do this next one just because it's in the food vein, and you'll just, if you don't like MLMs or Pampered Chef, just fast forward through this part. But I've got, well, I think technically I still sell Pampered Chef, but I have not actively sold any Pampered Chef for a long time, like over a year. But I think that, I don't know. Some of them you have to specifically re-up, but some of them you don't. I don't know. But anyway, so I was part of their, or I had subscribed to their Taste Buds subscription box, which is really just their seasonings. So if you didn't know, Pampered Chef has seasonings. And so you end up getting this little packet. There's always 3 seasonings in them. And so I'll just show it. This is Smoky Mezcal. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. This is a rub. Enjoy the alcohol-free flavors of mezcal, a tequila variation smoked by roasting agave plants in this smoky, savory, and slightly sweet rub. So, and then it's got the ingredients and the nutrition facts. And it's a pretty good size packet. And then I am not trying to sell Pampered Chef on here, okay? So please don't take it like that. Now, if for some reason you did want some, I could hook you up, but I'm not trying. That's not what this is. So, I will say one thing about their seasonings. Sometimes they clump up once they're exposed to air, so just kind of keep that in mind. But this is a rub, so this would be good, I'm sure, on pork and chicken and that kind of thing. This one, Jamaican jerk. Oh, they all say rub, so I don't know why they say rub as opposed to just spices, because you can use them as spices. But this says use 2 to 3 tablespoons per 1 pound of meat, poultry, or seafood. Brush the meat with oil before sprinkling with the rub. And then again, it's got the nutrition facts. And then crushed peppercorn and garlic. Oh, that sounds good. Use 1 tablespoon per 1 pound of meat. So same instructions. Brush the meat with oil before sprinkling with the rub. So pretty standard. But so again, you could do this with any seasoning, not just Pampered Chef. But I went through a phase, or our family went through a phase, where I would buy fresh chicken breasts or fresh chicken tenderloins, and we would get out we kind of did like one pan cooking. So we'd get out our big sheet pan, line it with foil, put those chicken pieces on there, spray them with olive oil or avocado oil or canola oil, you know, whatever. And then sprinkle, we'd just pick a seasoning pack out of the box and sprinkle it, or a seasoning we got from the local grocery store. Sprinkle it and then cook it for however long you're supposed to cook chicken, and super simple. So if you're looking for simple cooking ideas, that would definitely be one. All right, and then also you get a recipe to use with each. So I guess on this side it tells you which one you would be using for each of these recipes. So just something out there, and I'm sure there's lots of other companies that do this kind of thing. I'm like feeling like I need to go overboard to tell you I'm not trying to sell you on Pampered Chef, but then they also give you other discounts, I guess, to get stuff. So there's that. So those are all the food items. The last item to unbox is my bead, my bargain beads thing came. And I'm sorry that this keeps beeping. I have to be paying attention. When you're a parent, you always have to be paying attention. But let me do silent mode and hopefully I'll still notice. But one thing before I get to the bargain beads, I was kind of curious. If I were to sign up for HelloFresh meals, because we're kind of trying to look to find a way to get better healthy meals, and none of us really like to cook, and companies like HelloFresh make that easier because they deliver most of the food for the meal and tell you how to cook it. If I were to sign up for that, is that something that you would want to see videos of me making each of those meals? If so, let me know, because I think I could set up my camera to record my stove top area, and that might be kind of fun, because I could get the kids kind of involved with that too. So if that's something that you think you'd watch on this channel, let me know. All right, so last but not least is my bargain beads. So I decided to resubscribe to this, and actually want to see if I can preserve this bag in case I can use it for something else. Yeah. But anyway, I used to make jewelry, and I don't necessarily know that there's a market for me to make and sell jewelry, just because of places like Temu make it super easy to get super cheap, reasonable looking jewelry. but it's a great hobby, and so and this is a great company. They always send like a curated bag of stuff that all goes together each month so that you can create your own designs. So again, this is my first, this ink stuff is everywhere. This is my first box after re-signing up. And so you get a paper, they give you, okay, so this pretty much tells you about the kind of what's in here. You can get a 30% off coupon at their sister store, Bead Box Bargains. So they've got, I think, old subscription months in that store, and then other like leftover beads that they didn't need for their subscription boxes. And then you can also do your creations and submit them for a contest to win a $50 gift certificate to their store. And they do warn you that there are small parts in this package in case you have young children or pets. And then the back tells you everything that you get along with their value, because the idea is, yeah, so they say at the very bottom the approximate retail value of what's in here is $74. And I think this subscription is maybe $18 a month. I'll put that in the description below too. Oh, and they also have little codes after each of the items, which refer to down here. So it'll tell you if it's dyed, heat treated, made of pewter or zinc in case you have allergies, or lead free, nickel free, cadmium free. So yeah, so that's nice. So then you can also use this to make sure you got everything. There were a couple times when I was a subscriber before that like an item was missed, and then they're really good about refilling that or whatever. So the packaging is different than when I first subscribed. They were still really new, and so you used to get each of these items in a different bag, like a paper bag. So it looks like maybe they've learned how to conserve on packing materials. So they're wrapped in tissue paper. Oh, and then they've got a nice, pretty bag. So then we'll just go through, I'll just show you what each of these things are, because I'll find it on the... And the idea is that these should all be coordinating items. All right, so we've got 8mm beads of aventurine faceted round beads, 7.5 inches. So that's the length of the amount that they provided. So those are beautiful. And you can, for those of you that are here and watch Temu, they have a lot of aventurine. I always want to put a D in that, like adventurine, but it's just aventurine. So anyway, so there's that. And that was a good amount of beads for, I mean, you're not looking to make, you know, a ton of products out of this. Just a few special ones. All right, so this is 18 by 10mm brass leaf charms, and you get 10 of them. I like, okay, so this is an improvement on how they used to package things before. I mean, having the label on each of these is great. So it's pretty, it says brass, but it really looks more like rose gold to me. So those are super pretty. Oh, and then the manufacturer value of this one was $6.99, and then these brass leaf charms, the value of them is $3.99. So then we've got 12 by 10 5mm glass leaf beads, green iris. So those are cute. Trying to find this specific one. These retail for $4.99. So they give you a nice string of these. So you would be cutting them off of the string to use for whatever, but it's a really pretty green bead. So again, you can see these, you know, we've got a theme going on here. And they call it the Falling Leaves collection, so they do try to be seasonal with their offerings. All right, next we've got 18mm carnelian matte round beads. These were dyed and heated, and you get 7.5 inches of them. And these retail for $4.99. So when they're telling you the retail price, they're telling you like if you had to go buy these yourself at Michael's or Joann or some other kind of craft store. But those are pretty. Definitely fit with the fall theme. And these are, because they're matte, they're glass, or they feel like glass beads, but they're well, they're matte. I was going to say they're slippery, but they're not slippery because they're matte. So they just feel kind of soft. I'll get better at doing descriptions, jewelry descriptions over time, I think. I hope. All right, so next we have 5mm daisy spacer beads. And this says, oh, so these are lead-free and cadmium-free. And these again look like rose gold colored. But these retail for $2.99. And they give you 10 grams worth. So however many of them add up for that. But I love it when they give these like little spacer beads because they really add a lot of dimension and intrigue to your designs. All right, next we've got 8 pieces of 10mm crystal faceted barrel beads again in the green iris, which is what these leaves were. And these retail for $2.99. Let me just take one of these out. So it's kind of got that iridescence, right? That metallic kind of chrome kind of iridescence. And then you can't see it very well, but there's the hole in the center. So that's a super pretty, and again, because it's like the chrome iridescence, it goes with the green. It's got colors in it that would go with this. So yeah, so that's great. Then we've got 7mm electroplated hematite, synthetic hematite, nugget beads in rose gold. So these are really pretty. So these retail for $4.99. Oh, I love beads like this too. Should be. So yeah, those are great. So you can see they're giving you all this coordinating stuff. So it's making my mind start to invent. All right, so next, oh, looks like we got some more leaves. So 20 pieces, 10 by 8mm glass leaf bead mix. And these are $3.99. And so you're getting some that are, it's almost like, is it carnival glass that from the 50s that kind of had that iridescent orange look? And then you've got one that's more pearl. But again, these leaves, these leaves look very similar to these, just different colors and a smaller size. This bag is full of stuff, right? There's 16 different things in here. 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads, Magma AB, 13 inches. So those of you in the diamond painting world probably understand the whole AB concept. It's like a more special version. So this one, they give you a lot of this one. And this retails for $3.99. You guys, this is going to be fun to play with. Now, is this something that you'd like me to create on screen? You probably wouldn't. It would probably be the kind that I'd need to kind of do on speed play and just have music in the background. I don't know. It's an option. Let me know what you think. Right here, oh, this is super pretty. 53mm brass leaf pendant with genuine rose gold plating. So they usually try to give you one pendant at least that you can make the focal point of your design. So yeah, that's super pretty. It's really thin, so I feel like it probably would bend easily, which may be a drawback. And by the way, this is not sponsored, and I paid for this myself, so I'm trying to do real reviews. Okay, so this retails for $3.99. Right, back to the aventurine. These are 6mm round beads. You get 15 inches. And these retail for $5.99. I seem to remember fall always being a good time of year for this company. One year they had kind of brass things, and I really like antique-y brass things. Oh, all right, so here we've got 1 meter 5x4mm brass jewelry chain. It's lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free. And where is this one at? Oh, there we go. The jewelry chain. This retails for $4.99. This is a pretty chain. I like, but you see, you get a lot of it, right? Enough to definitely make one good necklace or a couple. Well, not bad, but you could get a couple necklaces out of this at least, unless you're making chokers, and then you could probably get more. It's hard to see the rosiness of it on that background, but it's very delicate. It's a very delicate chain, but it's super pretty, in my opinion. All right, and then we've only got maybe 4 things left. Um, 14x10mm frosted crackle agate barrel beads that were dyed. And it says for approximately 4 beads, so I don't know what that means. Maybe it doesn't say they weigh this one. But these retail for $3.99, so this is one of your more expensive. This is like $1 a bead, but it's really pretty. Usually when I'm doing, like, creating jewelry like this, I like to create one for me and then a duplicate that I could sell or whatever. Not that I've never sold any. So that being said, but of course with a set like this, when you only get the one pendant, then you got to go find like a comparable pendant from like a Michael's or a Joanne or something. All right. Oh, well, I lied. Here's another kind of pendant. So a 30 by 22 millimeter green aventurine carved leaf pendant. And this one, is this the one that says 2 pieces? I only see 1 piece here. Okay, that one is not it. Where is this one at? Well, I guess I could be showing this while I'm... But that is... And then the hole goes through here, so it would hang. Oh, it's the very first one. So this one retails for $6.99. So I guess in this kit you could kind of make 2 duplicate necklaces. It's just one would have a green leaf and one would have the rose gold leaf. All right, then... Oh, this is kind of like if you want to make earrings, or you could still do this on the necklace. 2-piece 28 by 15 millimeter green aventurine carved leaf pendants, and these retail for $5.99. Ooh. So it's got a metal hook, which is kind of why I think these would be this would be great for doing the earrings, right? Because you could just attach your earring part to this. But you could still put it on a necklace. It's just it would hang more like this. But that's really pretty. Oh, and they give you little clasps to connect. Oh, so that would help you put it on jewelry or on a necklace, right? Because they would give you the clasp, which would then make it so it could hang this way. All right, and then last are the clasps. Because of course they give you the chain, they need to give you the clasps, and they've done toggle clasps in the rose gold. 3 sets of toggle clasps, 20 by 26 millimeter, and they are lead free and cadmium free. But I love toggle clasps because you don't have to have fine motor skills to get the lobster claw clasps, for example, undone. So yeah, so that is the set. I am super excited about this. Let me know if you think you'd like me to do a series where I'm using this stuff and actually making some things. Being that they give you 3 clasps, I think they are assuming you should be able to get 3 necklaces out of this. Hopefully there's enough of this, but this would be easy enough. Most jewelry makers have extra chain on hand, although I do not because I lost mine in our flood. But yeah, so what do you think? Does this seem like it was worth the price? I do. And the fact that they've curated it and coordinated all the colors and everything, I think that's fantastic. Now, I guess if you don't like these colors, you might not think it's fantastic, but then you would just make it for somebody else as a gift, right? And the fact that it comes in this nice little bag that's orange for Halloween, maybe. And that they give you this. I mean, it's a bit banged up, but yeah, so let me know what you think. So this was a totally random unboxing mess, kind of. But some questions for you guys. Would you be interested in watching me cook HelloFresh meals if I subscribe to that? Would you be interested in watching me create jewelry? Because, you know, I'm looking for other content to have on this channel besides just Temu hauls, and I've started branching out into other things, but always looking for suggestions. And I guess, would you be interested in watching me taste test the teas? I think those are the only questions I have for you. If you want to put your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content I produce on this channel, please subscribe. I've had a couple people lately tell me that they thought they had subscribed long time ago because they've been with me from the beginning, but then they realized somehow it had gotten flipped off and they weren't subscribed anymore. So it only takes a second to click subscribe if you're willing to do that. That helps support my channel, and I super appreciate all of you. So wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.